Arsenal versus Wolverhampton on the English Premier League week number 23. And I'm super excited to give you the match preview of this must-win game for Arsenal. And on this video, of course, I'm going to talk about the predicted lineup that Mikel Arteta should be using against Wolverhampton. I'll also talk about the predicted score on this game, and I'll also talk about the injury status that we are having at the moment, and I'll also talk about the general expectations and anticipation of Arsenal fans and supporters worldwide. Anyway, even before we look at that, we are getting into this game against Wolverhampton very excited, and especially after beating Dinamo Zagreb on the Champions League. A win that was very necessary, especially after getting that draw against Aston Villa. We needed a win to boost our morale and even give us that momentum so that we can go into the next game super excited and very ready and very hungry to win. And that win on its own, it basically put us in a very good position to be able to qualify directly into the round of 16 as one of the top 8 teams on that Champions League. And on that table, the way it's looking like, for us to be to not qualify on the as top 8, unless those teams that are below us, they win with the huge winnings, and I'm talking about over 10 goals, so that they can be able to knock us out of that top 8, because we have a very good goal difference. And should we even be beaten that last game, we still are okay, and we will still qualify on this top 8. But anyway, we go again into the weekend, and as you're going to play with Wolverhampton, this is also another game that is a must win, and of course it's one of those games that we are playing, and I think it's the last game that we are playing in this second last game that we are playing January, because we've had a January that has had so many games. We've had a January that has been very competitive, and I didn't even expect for us to be where we are at the moment, because all these many games that we have played, I think the only game that has really disappointed me and has disappointed most Arsenal fans is that game against Man United, where we got knocked out of the FA. Because the game against Newcastle on the EFL, that is a game as we go to play with them, I think on early February. It's a game that we can actually redeem ourselves and of course go ahead and maybe even qualify into the finals of the EFL. But I mean, time will tell. Now, this Wolverhampton that we are playing with at the moment, they are at position number 17 on the English Premier League table, with 16 points, having have played 22 matches. And then, of course, we are, as Arsenal, we are at position number 2, having have played 22 matches with 44 points. But now, the most interesting bit about this game is that this January, Arsenal has not yet signed. And one of the players that Arsenal is so much interested in signing is Kuna. And of course, Kuna plays for Wolverhampton, and of course he has refused to sign with Wolverhampton. And so as you're going to play with them this Saturday, it's going to be very interesting whether he's going to be playing or he's not going to be playing, because rumor has it that he's so much interested in joining Arsenal, and yet we are going to face them. So we are yet to see, will he play, and should he be given a chance to play, will he terrorize us, will he push so much so, and of course help Wolverhampton to try and even frustrate us? This is something that we will see in the due course of that game. Now, this Wolverhampton, we have played with them a couple of times, and these many times that we've played with them, I do not remember the last time that Wolverhampton beat Arsenal, because I can see the last 2 games we've played with them, we've beaten them 2-0. This season, first league, we beat them 2-0. Last season, we home and away, we beat them 2-0 at their pitch, and then of course we had beaten them 2-1 at the Emirates Stadium. That is season 2023-2024. And even if I go back to the previous seasons, I can see lots and lots of wins for Arsenal. And it only means that on this fixture, we have actually been the big boys. We have been controlling the game. But as it is, you know, teams like these ones, and especially on this second league of the English Premier League table, teams like this can actually frustrate you. You go in there expecting, you know, to keep on controlling, but they will come in so hard and try and push, because Wolverhampton has been very competitive, and it has actually frustrated so many teams. In as much as we've been winning, we will see what's going to happen tomorrow. Anyway, I've looked at that, I just want to try and check a bit on where we are at the moment with the injuries at Arsenal. And of course, Ben White is doubtful whether he's going to play, and it's 50-50. He's already on the grass training, so chances are that he could actually play on this game. And Bukayo Saka still out, Jesus out of the season. Lewis Kelly is also another one who's doubtful because he got a knock and is expected to be out for a few days. Maybe if he doesn't play on this game, we expect to see him on that game against Manchester City. And then we also have Saliba also, who has a hamstring. They're saying that he looks very okay at the moment. And if he doesn't play also, he could be playing on that game against Manchester City. Anyway, having looked at this, then I just want to try and predict the first 11 that Mikel Arteta is supposed to be using against Wolverhampton. I've talked about this injury status and the issues that we're having at the moment. Now, on the goalkeeper, straight up, he needs to begin with the David Raya, because I mean, he's been very good. He's been competitive. He's played very nice for us. He's saved so many saves. And then center back, we go with Gabriel Magalhaes, very brilliant. And then of course on this one, we can decide and put Timber there, because Timber or Kiwior. But for me, I would prefer Timber there. And then of course on the left back, we go with Calafiori, who is ready and back. And then on the right back, we play with Ben White if he's ready. If he is not ready, then that is when I would feel like we introduce Kiwior on the center back, and then of course we push Timber there, because I don't like the idea of Mikel Arteta playing Thomas Partey on the right back. Anyway, I've looked at that then. On the CDM on this one then, it only means we play with Thomas Partey, and then at number 8, Declan Rice, who has been very brilliant, is really trying to drive through players and is going back to the Declan Rice that we had towards the end of last season. Number 10, Odegaard, and I really hope Odegaard is gonna come back, because the fact that Odegaard is not at its best is basically affecting a couple of our players. And I'm happy that Ben White is back, because they've played very brilliantly last season when they are playing together, and especially on that right wing. Now the only person that will be missing is going to be Bukayo Saka. But anyway, we continue. On the right wing, and that is number 7, I feel like we play with, on this one we play with Nwaneri, because Nwaneri is very brilliant, and you know, when he was introduced on that Champions League, he played very well. And should we get a good combination of Ben White, Odegaard, and of course Nwaneri, they get to click together, that combination on its own can actually terrorize teams and can actually give us good results out of the matches that are remaining. On the left wing, then of course that is number 11. On this one, you go with Martinelli, who has really impressed me and is looking like he's coming back and going back to that Martinelli that we've seen like 2-3 seasons ago. And then of course on the center forward, and that is number 9, we go with Havertz, so that he can play for us on this game, because he's been good. Honestly speaking, he's been scoring, and for the last 2 games, the fact that he has scored, I wish he can continue scoring, because I think at the moment he has scored, he has equaled the number of goals that he scored for us last season. And should he start scoring, this is actually going to be very interesting for us. Anyway, I've looked at that, then it leads me to the next question, and this is the prediction of this game. I feel like this game we are going to win 2-0. We have won 2-0 and 2-1, 2-0 in a couple of matches we've played with Wolverhampton, and I feel like even this one will actually win with a 2-0 in favor of Arsenal. I hope David Raya is going to keep a clean sheet on this one. Anyway, I've looked at that, and I'm going to go into the general expectations of Arsenal fans. Number 1, we expect or anticipate that we do not get any more injuries, because this injury issue has really affected us big time. And you can actually tell from the way every match we've had a player that has gone down, either from a knock, an hamstring, or just illness. So many injuries that we've faced. And then the next expectation is that this game we must win, because should we win this game, then it only means that should we win the game And hope that even as Liverpool is going to play, and Liverpool is going to be playing against Ipswich, we hope that Ipswich can try and, try to frustrate them and, of course, cut points. It's not easy, but, this is the only thing that we have at the moment to only hope for other teams to hold Liverpool for us, because we never took our chance against Aston Villa. And then, of course, the other expectation is that as you're going to play, you hope it's going to be a very fair game. So that we do not, at the end of the game, start complaining how the referees were bad and all these many unnecessary things. But in general, at the moment, as Arsenal fans, we are still not happy with how the management is taking too much time to be able to sign a player, because we have talked about us in need of a striker, in need of an attack, in need of additional players on that team, and yet 11 days to or 10 days to the close of the January transfer window, we have not yet signed anybody. I know it's very hard to sign in January, yes, but as much as it is hard, I mean, we are in that point where we either sign or we get into trouble, because this squad that we have as it is still lacking something, and you can actually tell, and everybody knows that we lack that point man that is very little in scoring, very brutal in scoring these goals, and of course even a winger that is actually very good and competitive. Because as you can tell, we do not have options. We do not have many options on that attacking front. But good thing, yes, Nwaneri is back, and he has proven that he can actually play on that number 7. And I really hope that we keep on pushing, and I hope that Arsenal is going to sign a couple of players. Maybe Kuna and one striker, maybe even Victor Osimhen or Gyökeres or Isaac is not possible, I think, or even Sesko, whichever. We just need to sign. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my match preview of the game Arsenal versus Wolverhampton. Talk to me on the comment section there. What are your thoughts about my predicted first 11? What are your thoughts about my predicted score? And remember, ladies and gentlemen, to comment, like, share this video, and of course, remember to subscribe to this channel so that we can keep on having better and huge conversations in the future. Salute!